Hello everybody, salvete. So in this video I'm going to give you the next part of our Minimus reading. This story is called Goodbye to Regina. If you remember back to our last story, there was this guy named Barates who was a friend of Candidus, and his wife Regina had passed away. And so of course Candidus was very sad, and he decides to go to meet his friend Barates and go to the funeral. So that's what we're going to see today. They're going to go to the funeral and we'll see what a Roman funeral was kind of like. So, Candidus, Flavius, and Lepidina arrive in Iboracum, where Barates is preparing for Regina's funeral. In this video today, I'm going to read you the Latin first. Then I'm going to break the Latin down and explain some things about it. And then I'll give you the English meaning. And then after this is done, of course, go to the Google form and answer any questions I ask about this story. Let's go ahead and get started. So in box 1, we have Barates coronam portat. So the guy's name is Barates. This is a corona, which is such an interesting word to see these days, but in Latin this is what a corona is. And then portat, what he's doing. Let's break this sentence down. Now of course, first thing I want you to notice is how the word is corona, but we say Barates coronam portat. It's still the same thing. We of course change it from corona to coronam to show that we're doing something to it, that it's the object, is what we call it. So here's the translation of the first sentence. Barates is carrying a wreath. This is called a wreath. Next sentence. A little longer, but that's okay. We have Flavius lucernam portat. Lepidina annulum portat. And of course, I want you to notice again how this is a lucerna, but we change it to lucernam in the sentence to show it as the object. Same thing with the word annulus. It's an annulus, but we change it to annulum because we're doing something to it. Now, you probably can't tell what that is just by looking at it. Maybe you've seen it in some like movies or something like that, but it's not something you'll see every day. It's a lamp, like almost like the kind of lamp you would rub and a genie pops out, that sort of thing. So, here's your translations of the two sentences. We have number 1, Flavius lucernam portat. Flavius is carrying a lamp. We have Lepidina annulum portat. Lepidina is carrying a ring. All right, awesome. Moving on. We have sculptor titulum splendidum sculpit. So this is a sculptor. You might recognize the word in English because it's the same word. He's a guy who works with stone. He has like a sort of hammer here and a chisel, and it's his job to carve words or maybe other things like art onto stone. So today he's going to be sculpit, carving a titulum splendidum, which is this thing here. So remember, this is like for a funeral. So this thing here is the tombstone, and the titulus on the tombstone is what we would call in English an epitaph. So if you ever go to like a graveyard or something like that, you'll see, you know, like here lies so-and-so beloved husband or something like that, and then the days that they lived. It's the same thing for the Romans. The word for that is titulus, which sounds actually like the word title in English, because it's sort of, if you think about it, it's kind of like the title on the tombstone. So here's the translation of sentence 3. Sculptor titulum splendidum sculpit. A sculptor carves a splendid epitaph. Like a splendid one, a really nice one. Number 4. This is in English, so that's pretty easy. After Regina's body has been cremated, her bones are collected and put into a pot. The pot is then put into a pit with many other items which Regina may need in the next world. So they would bury you sort of with certain stuff, with certain goods, like a lot of people in the ancient world did this. Number 5. Flavius et Lepidina lucernam et annulum in olam deponunt. So remember, what they're doing here is putting items into a jar. Here's our jar, ola. And so remember, the lucerna and the annulus are the lamp and the ring. So hopefully you can kind of tell what's going on here. Deponent, what are they doing? They're depositing or putting or placing. So the translation here, I can't show you the picture and the sentence at the same time. It's too small. Flavius et Lepidina lucernam et annulum in olam deponunt. Flavius and Lepidina deposit the lamp and the ring into a jar. So, remember, the word is lucerna et annulus, but we change it to lucernam and annulum to show they are the objects of the verb deponunt. And then you have in olam, which is into a jar. This is underlined because this is something called a prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase starts with a word like in, which is what's called a preposition, and then it takes an object of the preposition, in this case, olam. Now, because the word olam is an object of the preposition, which I know you guys love to chant all the time, it actually changes the ending too. Because up here it's ola, but we say in olam. Okay, and I think the last sentence, we have barates coronam in sepulchrum ponit. All right, so this one should be pretty easy. The one word you might not know is sepulchrum. So the sepulchrum is the whole thing together. The best word we could use is tomb. So for the Romans, most of the time they would cremate. So there would be like a jar with her ashes. I know the story said bones, but it would be ashes. And all of the stuff they buried with her. The best word is tomb. So, here's the translation. Barates coronam in sepulchrum ponit. Barates places the wreath into the tomb. And that is the end of this story. So when you're done with this video, go ahead and complete the attached Google form. And those are your assignments for this week. I will see you guys next time, guys. Walete. Bye.